Welcome to the 79th edition of the Pro Wrestling Zone. I am Tiger Height.
And I am the Gallery of Many Peanuts.
Yes, and for the first time in, God, I don't even know how long it's been, we actually do not have a pay-per-view, and there's going to be another one of those coming up fairly soon as well. So we actually have two. Let's talk about some news. Okay. Miranda Gordy, the daughter of Terry Gordy, who was, NWA famous with the Fabulous Freebirds, was in the tryouts for WWE in February, which I think is kind of neat. Okay. I enjoy second-generation wrestlers. Sometimes they do well, and sometimes they suck. WWE has dismissed their lawsuit against the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. There wasn't a lot of detail regarding why they did. Maybe they realized that they were going to lose. But that was dropped, along with the lawsuit that Joey Ryan put on Pele Premium. I butchered that immensely, but whatever. This was the multi-million-dollar lawsuit that was filed last year amid the fallout of the Speaking Out movement and the allegations against Joey Ryan. She also filed a dismissal of the lawsuit, but Joey Ryan opposed the request back in December. So she tried to say, please don't sue, but he's like, no, fuck you. Joey Ryan announced last night, well, this was a couple of days ago, that he dismissed the suit on Twitter, which came 2 days after he issued a lengthy statement on various issues of his mental health and why he dismissed other defamation lawsuits. So he put that out on Twitter. CM Punk did respond to those as well. For some reason, it's like I didn't like that he actually did the lawsuit in the first place, but at least he's dropping it. I don't know what they said there, but this was all announced on Twitter because that is where most wrestlers go, so that's always fun. John Laurinitis is back in WWE in his former position of head of talent relations. Okay. I think he replaced the other person. I think back in January he actually did. So this just came out. A lot of people were wondering where the hell Asuka has been. She has been off of TV for a while. Since February 22nd. It is now May 14th as of recording this. Yeah. And she has been out because the kick from Shayna Baszler that knocked out both of her front teeth on the top, she also got a concussion from it. Obviously, they have plans for her going into WrestleMania, and a concussion at this time is not the best things. So I actually am okay with WWE doing this. Let's see here. The NXT Women's Tag Team Champions were introduced, which I thought was cool. Let's talk about the Hall of Fame. The 2020 and the 2021 Hall of Fame classes will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. In a virtual event, WrestleMania. And I think it's going to happen on Friday. The first inductee is I almost said the Fabulous Moolah, Molly Holly, which I think is great. Somebody who definitely deserves it. Yeah. And that's all well and good. And speaking of WrestleMania, let's talk about NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. That's going to be the name of the event. It will be taking place over 2 nights, Wednesday and Thursday. So Peanut Gallery and I have agreed that we're going to do 2 separate shows regarding those, just because there's going to be so much content there that there's no way we can pack it in one show.
Well, we'll give you more details as time goes.
But that's kind of what we're, for the most part, going to probably do. Because there's going to be a lot of news as well, because this is what happens around WrestleMania and NXT WrestleMania season. Anyways. Joey Janela, I gave Peanut Gallery this, so I think we'll go into it later, about his little Twitter backfire. Let's talk about Jim Cornette. So, Jim Cornette gave, obviously, he gave his general scathing review regarding Revolution and his hatred towards AEW. And he is facing some backlash because he did call Penelope Ford a slut on social media. Obviously, this is Jim Cornette. Why people are pissed off, I will never know. Miro did respond to it just in an absolute tirade. And it's like, okay, do I think it's wrong? Kind of. Number one, you should not care this much.
Right.
It's one guy's opinion. Who cares? He's been out of business for 20 years.
Right.
It's like, okay, if it was like somebody relevant, I could probably see that. If it was like Tony Khan calling Penelope Ford a slut.
Well, Tony Khan actually has morals and values.
Right. Jim Cornette does not, because he likes watching his wife getting banged by other guys.
Right.
And he does not care if they're sexually harassed too.
Right.
So, nobody really cares. I do know that he is going to be discussing this backlash on his podcast on Tuesday.
Okay.
So I will most likely listen to it, because I kind of keep up with everybody as much as possible. Actually, this has probably been more beneficial to Jim Cornette than anything.
Right.
And I'm going to assume that this podcast will be a very big thing.
Right.
And then Andrade.
Yes.
Because number one, this is a good segue into Peanut Gallery's Bible study.
Yep.
But Andrade on Monday has requested his release from WWE, and it has not been confirmed that he was denied that release, but there are multiple reports stating this.
Right.
To what I have heard is that he looked absolutely miserable in the back. I wouldn't be surprised there. But with this, do you believe that Mr. McMahon is going to be petty enough to punish Charlotte, because there is that connection there?
No, Charlotte's a Flair. She'll never be punished.
Do you think she'll be fine? Unless she directly did something to
Right.
piss off McMahon, I think for the most part she'll be fine.
Right.
And that's, I think that's probably a good thing. I hate
Right.
that whole, the sins of the father should not be bestowed upon the son.
Right.
And in this case, fiance.
Right.
Really, other than that, I don't really have anything else as a part of news. It was a little slow, and
Yeah.
then a lot of social media stuff, which is
Right.
great for our topic. So when we come back, Peanut Gallery is going to be doing his Bible study on
La Sombra.
Excellent.